Something happened this morning at the gym that I've got to tell y'all about. It reminded me that I probably won't never get to thank this man in person. But if this message reaches him somehow, at least he'll know that he changed my life for the better and ended up changing a lot of other lives for the better as well. I was on a Stairmaster this morning, absolutely dying, trying not to look like a beach beluga whale when I get to the beach this summer. A boy comes up to me and he says, "Man, are you Zach Rushing?" I said, "Yeah, buddy, what's up?" He said, "Man, I am a huge fan of yours. I love your content. I love everything you do with your charities and stuff. But I said, if I ever got to meet you, I would ask you one question." I said, "All right, man, shoot, what you got?" I'm an open book. He said, "Man, what made you the way that you are?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "What made you want to use your platform to try to help as many people as humanly possible?" And I only had one answer for him. Back in 2017, I was at the lowest point in my life. I was finishing up my third round of chemo. Okay, going through that for the third time in 3 years absolutely demoralized me. It had me down to the point that I didn't even know if I wanted to be here or not. But my dad and me talked about it. He said, "You need to do something. You need to go somewhere. You need to go have fun and remind yourself that you can still smile." So I did the one thing that I thought would make me feel better. I have always been a Brantley Gilbert fan. I love his music. I love him as a person. I don't know him personally, but I am a huge fan of his for one reason. He has never tried to be anything other than what he is. He hasn't. You've never seen the man in a cowboy hat. And they did an interview with him one time. They said, "Brantley, how come you're a country singer and we never see you in a cowboy hat?" And he had one simple answer. He said, "I can't ride a horse. I can ride a Harley, but I can't ride a horse. So I ain't gonna wear a cowboy hat and be something that I'm not." And I respected that so much that that's instilled in me. So in 2017, I wanted to do something to do a little pick-me-up. So me and my dad got together and I couldn't afford it. He bought me VIP tickets to Brantley Gilbert's tour. And he bought, not only that, but he bought me a meet and greet with him. So I went to the meet and greet, and it's a little acoustic deal they do outside the Coliseum. It's right there in Jackson, Mississippi. Right at the State Coliseum. It had a little acoustic deal outside. And I went in there and he did a little question and answer thing, this, that, and the other. And he noticed that I still had a big bandage over my port. Right here over my left-hand side. I still have my port in my chest where they did my chemo. After the acoustic deal was over with, he pointed at me, pointed to the side of the stage. So I walked over there and I'm giddy. I mean, I'm nervous as can be. I'm fitting to meet my number one person that I wanted to meet. I'm fitting to meet Brantley Gilbert. I get over there, he said, "Man, what's going on?" I said, "Man, I just went through my third round of chemo." Now, keep in mind that this dude is an absolute superstar. Okay, he's had number one hits for the last 15 years, and I followed him ever since he was playing bar rooms. I have always been a fan of his, and I'm finally getting to meet him. Like, I'm on top of the world right now. But for him to take 2 minutes of his time in a sold-out show in Jackson, Mississippi, to talk to me, he called me over to the side of the stage. He said, "Man, what's going on?" I said, "Man, I just finished my third round of chemo, man. This is my little present that me and my dad thought of to try to get me back on track, get me smiling again. I've been in a bad place." He said, "Man, I just want to let you know something. You a tough son of a bitch." I said, "Man, look, you don't know how much that means to me coming from you, B. Like, it really don't. Like, you don't understand what that does for my mentality, man. I'm on top of the world around." He said, "Man, look, all you got to do is remember one thing. We don't all start off on the top. There was a low time in my life too." I said, "Man, what you mean?" He said, "Man, look, I wasn't always a good person. I had to remember that I've been very blessed and I use my good fortune in order to help other people." And I told him, I said, "Man, look, I've been a huge fan of yours so long because you just always stay true to yourself." And he looked at me and said, "That's the key, bruh. That is the key right there. You've always got to be true to yourself. You can never, ever deter away from who you are in order to please other people. Because the people that like you for being somebody that you're trying to be, they just like you. The people who you really want in your life are the ones that love you for who you really are." That moment meant so much to me. That was 5-6 years ago. It changed my whole mentality on life. It turned me into who I am today. It turned me into not being ashamed of what I believe in and letting it be spoke out. I don't care what people think about me. It meant so much to me, I even kept the VIP tag. It's been hanging on my mirror ever since that day to remind me of his words. To remind me that somebody who is on top of the world, who is a superstar, took 2 minutes out of their time to talk to an absolute nobody, which just made me a bigger fan of his. So I guess the reason for this is to remind everybody out there what BG taught me. You're going to have good breaks in your life. Use your good breaks in order to help those less fortunate. And Brantley, dude, you keep doing your thing. You're absolutely killing it. I probably won't ever get to meet you, but if this message reaches you somehow, any way, shape, or form, I just want to say thank you, because your 2 minutes that you spared in order to talk to me in that VIP tent ended up changing the lives of a lot of people. I've been able to help thousands of people because of those 2 minutes that you spared for me. You changed my life, brother. You really did. If I ever get to meet you, I'd love to shake your hand and tell you thank you to your face. Keep doing your thing, BG. I will always be a fan. I'll always be a part of BG Nation. And y'all, if you take anything from this video, remember one thing. Be true to yourself. And the people that stick around, they don't just like you. They love you. And they will always be in your corner. Remember that shit. I'm telling you, it works. Shit.